If you're a homemaker who experiences various ailments, chronic symptoms, and/or fatigue, then today's video is for you. Hi homemakers, my name is Kiri with the Transformed Homemakers Society, and my mission is to help homemakers go from overstimulation and chronic stress to a peaceful and thriving home so that they can serve their families and the Lord. Over the years, I've had my own major transformation in my homemaking, going from overstimulated, highly sensitive, and chronically stressed to cool, calm, collected, and unbelievably fulfilled in my role. Now I help other homemakers have their own transformations. If you're interested in working with me, then please check out my link below for my free workshop. In this video, I'm going to talk about the chronic fight or flight responses. I'll tell you what leads to a chronic state of fight or flight. Then I'm going to talk to you about how this can affect your homemaking and what this may look like as a homemaker. Finally, I'm going to give you the 4 toxic behaviors to stop right now if you are chronically stressed. So I want to also say that in this video, I'm going to just shorten the term fight or flight. So the longer term is fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. You can look up what each of those mean, but the shortened version is just fight or flight. So what is fight or flight? It can really be any stressful situation. It could be something as life-threatening as, you're being chased by a bear, or it could be something that is not life-threatening but is still stressful, which is, like your children crying or getting hurt, your husband maybe losing his job, or maybe you have an illness or an injury. These are all stressors that call for a cascade of hormones to be produced, which changes the state of your physiology. You know the feeling. Your face gets red, your heart starts racing, your muscles tighten. God created us to have the fight or flight response in order to protect us from potentially life-threatening situations. Unfortunately, the body can use this same response inappropriately and react to stressors that are not life-threatening. So how does the body get into this vicious cycle of chronic fight or flight? Living in a chronic state of stress can put your body in a prolonged state of fight or flight. Also, the way that you perceive stressful situations can put your body into this state. For example, if something traumatic happens to person A and they perceive it as extremely traumatic, they internalize and hold on to the emotions surrounding the event, they ruminate on the event, they talk to everyone about it, etc. Yet person B experiences the same event but doesn't perceive it in as traumatic of a way as person A, and they bounce back fairly quickly, then person A will have long-term physiological effects, whereas person B will likely go unscathed. Most of the time, perceived stress is through no fault of the person's own, but there are some things that people can do to mitigate unnecessary stress on their bodies, which could keep them in this state of fight or flight. For example, internalizing, rumination, excessively talking about the issues, etc. So that leads me into my 4 toxic behaviors to stop if you're chronically stressed or fatigued. The first one is to stop seeking healing and instead seek God. So many people, including myself before I learned about Christian brain rewiring, seek healing from their chronic ailments through supplement protocols, diets, and anything else promising to heal them. Once I stopped incessantly searching Google for every symptom I was experiencing, and I put that time and energy towards seeking and growing closer to the Lord, is when I actually started healing. Whether you're experiencing illness, pain, emotional, or all the above symptoms, the moment that you stop trying to control the symptoms and instead just give it all to God is when you will experience true healing. The second thing to stop if you're experiencing chronic illness or fatigue is to stop catering to the symptoms. Don't stop all activity due to the symptoms. Continue with your daily life as much as possible. And I know this can be terribly difficult when you're in pain, And there are certain symptoms where this just won't be possible. However, if you just stick to your to-do list and just keep swimming, you may find that the symptoms actually go away. In my experience with certain symptoms of mine, if I catered to them, they would grow and grow, they'd get worse, they would last all day or longer. For example, I often would experience bouts of POTS, which is dizziness, lightheadedness, fainting or almost fainting, heart palpitations, chest pain. And I'll tell you what, that stuff was scary. And I would often give into these feelings and I would cancel all the things on my to-do list for that day. I would cancel any plans that I had planned and I would cater to the symptoms. And this told my brain, oh no, she's scared. This really is serious. Give more discomfort, more discomfort, more discomfort. But then I realized that if I just kept right along, the symptoms would often go away instead of lasting all day, like when I would, cancel all my plans and not do anything on my to-do list. So try this if you can. I know all too well how miserable certain symptoms can be though, and sometimes it really is not possible to just grind through the discomfort. But if there's any part of you that can, then you may find that it tells your brain that you're actually safe and it doesn't have to give you more pain. The next toxic behavior to stop is to stop talking about symptoms all day long. Telling everyone about your symptoms is only going to scare your brain. If you must talk about your symptoms, keep it very light and honestly, almost play it down. I know this can be very difficult when you're going through misery, but if you exercise this muscle, then it will tell your brain, and your brain will realize that you aren't scared and it doesn't need to keep giving you more symptoms. Okay, my last thing to stop is to stop all bitterness. Get rid of all bitterness in your life, unforgiveness, anger, resentment, etc. It can all lead to physical illness. Bitterness has been called the poison of the soul for a reason. I did a whole video on this topic alone and how destructive it can be to your body, so I'll link that down below. Okay, so you do struggle with anger and bitterness. Am I just saying to simply stop being angry? Well, yes, if you're able to, that would be great. But what if there was a way to alleviate yourself from the propensity to being angry and bitter all the time? What if you could rewire the anger out of your brain? That is what I teach in my course, The Transformed Homemakers Society. In my course, I use Christian brain rewiring and home management systems to transform your homemaking from drudgery to perfect peace. I provide you with a Christian brain rewiring formula, simplified homemaking rhythms, and I help you create your own family vision, culture, and unique homemaker qualities, and so much more. If this is something that you feel would be a blessing to you, I hope that you consider taking my workshop using the link below. It's my 5-step framework for overwhelmed and overworked homemakers. Just click on the link in the description below to sign up for your spot. So what stood out to you the most today? Was it to seek God instead of healing? Or maybe stop catering to your symptoms? Was it to stop talking about your symptoms all day long? Or to remove all bitterness and anger in your life? Let me know in the comments below. And your homemaker homework for today is to pick one of these behaviors that really resonated with you and work to eliminate it in your life.